Fire signs, let's see what's coming up for you for the week ahead in work and abundance, in love, in relationships, and one mystery topic as well. So it looks as though there is going to be some tension or conflict that will be repaired this week. In terms of your abundance, you are going to be feeling on top of the world. There is a big shift coming with the Wheel of Fortune there. Something is going to change everything. And it may be to do with a job you walked away from in the past, or some issues with a client that might be cleared up this week, kind of leaving you free to move forward. It is sort of the beginning of a new era of abundance. I'm going to pull some more cards in a while, but first let's get a quick overview of your relationships. And here we see the same vibe. We've got the healing of some pain here. This is the end of a painful cycle and the beginning of the healing, or of this new phase that now that you have healed. Anything that collapsed or moved away in a sudden, kind of maybe upsetting way, is going to be replaced. This is this whole new chapter that's starting. So any kind of void that you have in your life, any empty kind of space, is really, the stage is set to have something new come in here. And I'm going to pull some more cards on this too. So for work, let's see what this new kind of situation coming in is that's going to have you feeling so good. So it feels like for your career and abundance, whatever this conflict was or setback, something that left you feeling quite wounded, it actually did teach you a lot, or it has had kind of some educational benefit, shall we say. Because we've got the Sun card here, which is the most joyful card in the spread. It really is a lot of good luck and abundance seeming to come your way this week or in the very near future. It's kind of in your energy field, being called in. And it looks as though you really did have to go within with the Hermit card there. You've really learnt a lot. And it may have been to do with some really difficult situation that you are on the other side of now. It has actually educated you a lot, and this is going to be really valuable for you. And now is the payback. Look, here is the Black Widow card, just showing some kind of betrayal in the past, something really quite toxic, some horrible situation. But this week, all of that is really forgotten, or you can move past it, because we've got the mother lode here of striking it rich, like literally striking gold, prosperity, jackpot, having plenty, accomplishment, achievement, and good luck, as well as a touch of fame here, or just being in the spotlight, being appreciated, being acknowledged for your skills and talents is kind of the energy I get from this card. So between the two of them, it might have been because of this kind of betrayal or toxic situation, or it may have been maybe completely in spite of it. Either way, this is a triumph for you. It is really the world turning. The wheel is moving in your favor, whether this is karma, payback, or whether you can just leave an ugly chapter behind now and really enjoy the success that you deserve. I asked about the Black Widow, and this card came out, which was the Knight of Wands. Now that is very passionate energy. It's very gung-ho. It just charges off without much thought. So either somebody was all fired up and acting maybe out of ego, trampling around, and that was what caused this toxic situation in your life. Or maybe now that you've been on the sort of on the other end of this bad behavior, you can now be fired up and be quite a crusader against this kind of energy. So take it as it resonates for you, but really it's just nothing but good omens this week with abundance and your career, with the Sun there being the happiest, most joyful card in the deck. The Hermit showing you have really earned a lot of knowledge that's just super valuable, and that has been a solitary path for you, but now comes the payoff and the recognition. So this is financial abundance, also financial abundance, and yeah, recognition and achievement. So wow, that's fantastic. So let's look at your romantic relationship love situation this week. Let's see what else the universe wants to tell you about love. More beautiful cards. The Star. So this is a time of real optimism and hope. Your hope has been kind of ignited, or will be, this week. We have an Emperor in the picture. Now this is either you feeling so supremely grounded and confident in your ability to show up in a stable way in a relationship, or this is somebody coming towards you, reigniting your hope now for a brighter relationship. And look at this. There may have been in the past an unwillingness to face the truth, so a bit of self-delusion, or maybe dealing with someone who wasn't quite honest with what was going on, maybe a bit of gaslighting with this book burning card here, so that just really confusion around narratives, shall we say, cancel culture, all that sort of thing, changing the narrative. So there's been, in the past, it feels some kind of challenge there with open, honest communication. But like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you are transformed out of that situation, whatever that was, and that situation has transformed you. More on that later, because it is our secret third topic. And look, we've got the beautiful Anamkara card here for you, for around your relationships. This is unconditional love. It's the purest form of love. It doesn't have to be romantic, but it is this soul connection that is absolutely pure and beautiful. Soulmates, uncommon bond, tenderness, affection, best friends, appreciation, true love. So it is really unequivocal. This is a lot of beautiful energy around you now, no matter what you have sort of experienced in the past. And yes, you may well have to address whatever that was, or maybe because the world has turned, it is something you can now leave behind, because you will never fall for that again, maybe, is kind of what the message is. Everything is different now. This is the beginning of a new cycle, whether you've ended the heartbreak, and there is space now that everything that wasn't worthy of being in your life has fallen away. There is space to rebuild, and rebuild a much better, firmer, more steady kind of structure to your relationships here. Well, Jupiter is showing up in your second house of values, and the key word there being status. Look, I'm drawn to the couple with the crown being sort of placed on their heads. It's sort of an elevation to a new relationship. Status is seeming to be indicated here. Jupiter definitely expands your values and yourself, your value, the value that you place on yourself, so your self-worth. So you are entering an expanded sense of yourself. Be careful not to get overblown on that. Jupiter, you know, it can get too much. So don't get greedy on this, but just a healthy self-regard seems to be what is around for you now that you have moved through some, you know, growth experiences, shall we say. And now let's look at our secret third topic. The message for all signs this week is about 8th house issues, which is transformation on a really deep level. And Saturn showing up there, indicating that the lessons about this, or the challenges, may be on the tough side, but any challenges you are facing is for your ultimate growth and transformation. This is kind of phoenix-like energy where you go through the fire and then come out completely changed for the better. And what I was reminded about when that message came through was to treat yourself really gently through this. Don't beat yourself up about what you believe to be bad karma coming your way, or things that you've brought upon yourself and you're like, why am I so stupid? Anything that you are thinking along those lines, treat yourself like a little puppy that is still being toilet trained, and it knows what it should do, and sometimes its biology just takes over, and there's really no point in whipping or beating that little puppy. Treat it gently, and treat yourself in the same way on your spiritual journey as best you can. But let's see what the cards also want to say this week about your deep transformation that may be occurring right now. Well, this is a time for you to let down your barriers that you might have really put up, defense mechanisms that might be very well entrenched, because it's time to start looking to the future with a much more optimistic view. And this message is coming through week after week, optimism and having a sort of more expansive view of what's possible for you is this repeating message. And we've got the Chariot. These two cards together actually indicate foreign travel or travel even a short distance, but Chariot is also things that happen really quickly because your intentions, your conscious and subconscious mind, your yin and your yang are all focused on moving forward. They're working in concert. And that is when you clean up your psyche there to get rid of any kind of subconscious drives. That's when you can start moving forward at quite a pace. So it is time to relax your boundaries a little bit. Let's see what else the universe has to say about that this week. Yeah, look, you are really more grounded now. You feel more connected, and so this is part of letting down your energetic boundaries too, and actually feeling not like an island, but as though you are part of something much larger. And of course you are. What are the words on this card? We are nature. Becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. Beautiful. And look, you're almost there. So the worst is over. You may have been going through, a quite intense form of transformation, but be gentle to yourself. It is nearly done, and it is time to actually look forward with a lot more optimism to the future. So I hope that helped you, my darlings. If you'd like your own personal reading, go to my website, abundancelovejoy.com. Meanwhile, this is Sarah wishing you much abundance, love and joy for the week ahead and beyond.